Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. I'm so excited. I have my good friend and client here, Gettie from Go Within Travel Destinations. Gettie, how are you this morning?
Doing well, Cyndi. I'm doing well.
I'm so excited. We're going to get the confetti out because you are a recent graduate of Cruise on Vacation. How does it feel?
It feels really exciting, and it feels like I accomplished something that was a best decision for me to be part of this community and move forward with my business.
Oh, I love that. And I know you love I know you've been through the process, it's been 12 weeks, but everybody that watches these case studies, I love to ask the question of where was your business before taking Cruise on Vacation and where is it now?
Well, it was just a creative idea in my mind. So it wasn't existing. It was a, a dream, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we call it concept.
Yes.
Concept, an idea, that little seed that gets planted somewhere where you're like, if I could do this thing, right? And where are you now, Gettie?
So now I am sporting my logo, and that's really what sparked for me because I'm such a visual person,
Mm.
and I have business that basically includes not only doing travel but also doing events. I didn't expect that, and folks really connect to what it is that I see, how I see travel.
I love that. Yeah, and you do have a unique model that you set up through the whole 12-week mastermind process, which I love. And I feel like that's one of those things where because it's a more customized experience, right? Your model was not the typical cookie cutter, I'm going to be a travel agent, and just allowing the space to kind of, I love when people say, I have this idea, and then we work on kind of taking it from concept to now launching. Now you're sporting your beautiful shirt, your beautiful logo, and you have all this great stuff designed and ready to go out in the world. That's like a brand new concept. What do you feel like have been your biggest wins or celebrations since taking the program?
Well, as I mentioned, it's because of your group that I learned about 99 design. And so
Mm.
I have a thing about being a stickler for details. So by myself, I would probably have spent months trying to think of what things would look like for my business. So connecting with 99 design had been my biggest win because I ended up working with two different international designers who gave me the two concepts that visual concepts that I wanted. And I stuck with one, which I don't know if folks can see, but it's go within travel destinations and make travel your practice. So in there is this young lady with little hoops and an afro puff, and she's walking a trail through the world. And basically, this is about women traveling and making travel their healing process.
Yes, and I loved when you were in the creation process for your logo because I'm the same way. I feel like you can get stuck in analysis paralysis of looking at your own logo because I remember you went through several different versions and you would post them in our group and everybody had a chance to give feedback and I like this and tweak this and adjust this. Was that helpful for you to kind of be able to see how other people were seeing it and then also make that final decision on ultimately as the CEO of your new business like to decide this is the one?
Yes, it was because I'm such a people person, and
Yeah.
I get a lot of vibes off of people's energy. And
Mhm.
when folks would respond to my posts of how the design worked for them, it was what made a difference to me to see if I was touching the audience that I wanted to touch.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, just the logo and the branding and everything. I know we have Kelly, our branding expert in the mastermind too, is one of our experts you get to plug into. But everything that the work that you did, the designers you worked with, and kind of going through that process, it just turned out so beautiful. And I know you and I were talking before the show, like we're visual people, so like having that logo come to life, it's like this is real now. Like I have my own business. It feels
Yeah.
different, right? And Jenny, another thing we like to always ask when you get to this graduate point in the program, I love what you said about vibes and energy. In our program, one of the things, one of the pillars in our program is mindset work, really helping you guys to think like new leaders, think like new business owners, and really get in the place where you're in action. And like, so you don't stay in creating your logo for 3 years and you get to the point where you're selling travel. What was the mindset work like for you that you did in the program, either impacting your life or business, or either or both?
Well, being that I have just retired from the service, and so
Mhm.
I've been an officer in the service for many years, and literally this was my desire to branch into something totally different that I've done before. I worked in areas of high level, and I just wanted to do something that made me happy.
Ugh.
And this mindset project of affirmations, your list of affirmations, I found it to speak to me so well that I wrote it and created an individual postcard binder and wrote it down and then colored it like
I
adult
love it. You're
coloring.
so much
And
like, wait. We did not plan this, and I did not know Jetty was going to bring this question up. I so I send you guys know I send you my custom ones that I design. I do the same thing. I write them out and I color them. I have them right here on my
look,
desk.
look at
I love it. That's so great.
mine.
That's
Can you see?
amazing.
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
we
And
can see
it's just
them.
individual ones, and I just would just color them. See, some of
Yeah.
them I haven't colored yet, and
Yep.
there are those that I did color, and that's intentional, so that I
Yeah.
wrote them down, read them during our time with you, but then I color them as I need to emphasize it to myself.
That's so smart. Yes, because there's power in your actions. There's power in your energy. There's power in your intention. I love that you took that tool out of our toolbox and even made it like one step better. I'm gonna share that with the rest of the clients. But that I do feel like the families we've worked with and the individuals we worked with, that is a big transition mindset wise to go from this environment that you're in. And I love what you said of like, but now I want to do something that makes me happy. Like I served my country, I did the things, and now it's my turn. And I feel like through this whole COVID process, people are really awakening to that. What do I want
Mhm.
the rest of my life to be like? So I love that during that transition you found us and are kind of on this path through that, through making the decision one, but then also being supported with the mindset stuff kind of showing up to support you through such an important new season in your life, right? Because it's like, I must imagine it's totally different from whatever you were doing before.
Oh, oh, totally. Some people might feel I might be insane doing doing this kind of a shift, but it is
Yeah.
really comes from my joy. So that's why I say I needed to do this because
Oh,
it's so different.
it comes from your joy. That is such a good like sound bite. If we all just leaned into our joy more, like promise the path will just unfold. I love that. When you first found us, when you were just when this was concept mode and you're like thinking about a shift, thinking about a change, and you found us, however you found us out in the world, what was that process like for you to make the decision to start working with me and my team at Careers on Vacation?
I am very much a process person. So I literally watched, I don't know how many, maybe 100 videos
Oh, you got a lot.
because
You got a lot.
I really wanted to see all different aspects. I wanted to see everybody's perspective, and I like the fact that it was unfiltered, and I wanted to really hear from people who had experience, didn't have experience, people who maybe didn't find anything in the mindset as much as it did for me. And watching that over and over again was important because the cost was significant for me, being that I'm starting a business and being that I'm really doing it from scratch and from myself.
Yeah.
And that was big. That was the biggest hurdle. Was I kept asking myself, "Come on, Jettie, are you really? Are you going to start a business and you're going to spend that?" Or you just start. And I've done direct travel before, but with the multi-level marketing, and it was all encompassed in one little smaller price. So this was really sounding huge. And I then decided, well, let me just go 100% and make it a LLC and do a business. And so, with that in mind, I then made that plunge.
I love that. And talk to me. I love that you brought up, and a lot of people start in an MLM or go through and sometimes people don't even realize the model they're in, right? They'll be like, "What? I just wanted to be a travel agent. I thought this was going to be easy." But what was the experience going through that compared to the support and training and kind of roadmap that you got through COV? How were those two different? I know this is a impromptu question, but I think that that's an important question because we get so many calls from MLMs going, I'm just not I'm like not successful. Like, help me, help me, help me. And I see a lot of struggle come out of that community, and they're also, they feel like, oh, is the next thing going to be the thing that fixes it, right? Or like, do I even try? They get discouraged. That's what I'm trying to say. They are in a place of discouragement. I don't know if that was your journey, but we, from the discovery calls that we do, a lot of times that's, it's a totally different vibe from MLMs versus other people coming from different places that they may have started. What was the difference for you?
Well, for me, I actually did it while active duty. So it was, I was looking for something that wasn't going to be too complicated, but start a little business on the side. And I love to travel. So that was whole
Yeah.
gist of it, was to do a little business and travel at the same time. And the model had, a lot of plugins, like plug and play kind of thing. And
Mm.
and and it just seemed so convenient. However, I was serious about wanting to eventually be, do more travel and more professionally and more in a properly structured way. And not just have a website, have a Facebook and just put all this information out there.
Yeah.
I'm very particular. I was active duty, so I was very particular about my information being put out there.
Mm.
And I just felt lost. After a while, the traveling was fine, but the structure left me, you know, just confused as to what to do with the travel part of the business part. And eventually I gave it 1 year. I always give myself a year to do something, and I gave it 1 year, and at the end of the year I just severed it from the MLM. And when I decided I wanted to come back, I actually went back to the MLM to ask, what it takes to go back, because I definitely want to do travel, blah blah blah. And basically, when I listened to them after watching all your videos and after doing more research about true travel agents, in
Yeah.
my case, I'm calling myself a travel consultant because of what I want to do. I realized that all it was going back into a circle of folks who are giving each other information and traveling, but it's not really making any money.
Mm.
And at this point, I mean, I didn't need to make money then, but at this point, I wanted to make money
Yeah.
because I wanted to be a legitimate business. And then
Mm.
I said to myself that it wasn't the right model for me. I
Mm.
wanted a model of a business owner. And this was the better model. Even though words like business owner was used with the MLM, it just didn't fit.
Yeah.
So I was I it helped me make my decision that I definitely did not want to do MLM because
Yeah.
it didn't serve me.
Sometimes you have to figure out what you don't want before you figure out what you need. You actually need, or what you do want. So I love that. And what would you tell that person who maybe was in your same spot that you were just, 12, 16 weeks ago, where you were in that deciding process and going, I'm making this transition, or I still love travel, but I actually need to make money at it at this juncture. It's not just going to be a hobby deal. Like, I want to do this for my life or career. What would you tell that person who is looking at everything out there in the world? I love that you tried different things, because I think that, your recommendation becomes more important, because you did try something else first. But that person who's on the fence with starting with Careers on Vacation, what would you tell them about our program that you feel like they need to know?
I really do believe that your model is being a coach and teaching someone to do a travel business.
Mm.
And that's important because even if it's a part-time business, it's a business and it's a business model.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. It wasn't so much about, you're going to help me get rich quick. On the contrary, you provide so much information that I have to dig in and learn and practice and implement. It's still a work in progress now, but it is information that is a foundation that
Mm.
I can grow in the next year to 2 years to 3 years. And it is a period of time. As something I learned after doing this 12 weeks, I really thought like, okay, I should have this by now. That was that military mind. So, I
Mm.
mean, she provided me something week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should be done.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. But when I looked back and slowed down, took a breath, and I said, wait a minute, this is my infrastructure of my business. This is a
Mm.
solid structure of how I should do business. And that's when I would tell someone, if they were trying to decide whether to do an MLM or a your Cove, careers on vacation provides the resource and provides the community. And I mentioned community earlier because that's really important for me.
Yeah.
I need to talk to someone who has done business for travel and has worked with other individuals in the industry, as opposed to someone who is really swimming in a pool of a volume of people who just basically don't have the time
Yeah.
to show you anything other than the model of the multi-level marketing
Here's your
plus
login.
an adding of
Here's your
business,
logins.
adding the travel as a carrot, but it's not the
Hmm.
original.
Yeah. Do you feel like people underestimate how difficult it is to do this business the right way and set it up the proper way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think even though it says, this language is always used simultaneously with the MLM business and the code.
Hmm.
I'm doing a travel business. I'm doing a travel business. So everybody's saying the same thing,
Yeah.
but the actual realization that I'm doing a business was with careers on vacation because
Mm.
of the infrastructure and the things that you had us start with and put in place from the beginning, choose our host agency, make a decision as to which one works best for you, find out what it is that you would get paid and what it is that uh, tools that they have within their agency to help you stay on track of information.
Yeah.
And the MLM just lets you stay kind of floating out there.
Yeah.
And if you have skills of before, yeah, those who have skills, you can use that. And I don't knock it if someone just wants to do something on the side and maybe the other part of the model they like,
Right.
that's good for you. But if you like me and really want to do travel, it is something that takes work. It really takes work and it takes support,
Yeah.
real support.
100%. There's so architecture, systems, marketing, sales, best practice. Like there's so much and I know what you're talking about because we do get that, the people who feel like they're floating, they're like, I know I have a business, right? But it's like, when you sit back and you go, let's really put a business model in place and it is a different process for sure. So thank you for sharing both like perspectives on that, because I think that's really key. Like what we take a lot of pride in at Careers on Vacation is really getting you guys set up for success so you can have real results in a real way and as fast as possible. But you're right, we give you the information, you have to do the work of like, let me get the system in place, let me do the automation, let me do the marketing, let me do the things. But you know that for a lifetime to come, which is great. um Jettie, would you recommend Careers on Vacation for someone who is in a similar situation to yours?
I would absolutely recommend Cruise on Vacation. I would say do whatever it takes to get yourself in a mindset of, moving forward and investing in your business in order to make that decision. But don't go into it just thinking it's going to be a plug and play.
Yeah.
So that's the caveat that I would say in my recommendation, because it's not a plug and play, and it really is something that you
Real
can,
business. Yeah.
yeah, you can grow. You can really grow. And it doesn't happen quickly, which is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Let me
You
confess.
can do it at any pace that you'd like. We have some people that are like, I want every step in place before I say I'm open, right? And other people are selling by week 3. It just depends on people's like ambition level. It's all there and we support everybody. That's the other beautiful thing too, though, because and I understand like MLMs have thousands and thousands and thousands of agents and only so many support staff, right? But that's why we cap our classes at a certain size, because we want you to have the experience of having that private coach and being able to show up on a call with me every single week, or show up to like the branding coach that would could give you some advice on your logo, or the Facebook person, or our mindset person, or our accessibility workshops, or the million different things we have packed into our calendar. But it is real live people that you can ask questions in a setting, and you get dedicated time, and of course the Facebook group. But Jettie, I'm so proud of this beautiful new brand that you've brought to the world. And I'm really excited about these creative and unique experiences that you've now crafted and curated something out of the box, something not cookie cutter, something not plug and play that you'll be able to grow and build your business on. I think it's a really exciting time for you. And I want to tell all of you guys out there, if you have been thinking about, do I want to be a travel agent? Do I want to start a travel business? Visit us over at careersonvacation.com. If you want to apply for the program, go to careersonvacation.com/ready now, and we will just have a discovery call. That's all that's happening when you fill out that link. We want to understand more about you, more about your goals, and see if our program is a match to fit your needs, just like we did with Gettie. We kind of have that conversation. Check out our other case studies. Gettie, I think you're like number 180th case study we're filming at this point. So we're so fortunate that we are the most reviewed program in the industry, which is super, super exciting. But Gettie, what was the discovery process like for you? Was it weird in any way? I like to set people's mind at ease when you call and have that first call.
No, it wasn't weird. It was just it was reassuring. It was reassuring. I love real people. So it was reassuring that it was very real and it was very tangible.
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't real.
And one of the reasons we do those calls, guys, just so you know, is because we want you to know we think of you as a person, not a number. That's why we will never have an electronic sign-up form for our mastermind programs, because we want to understand your goals to make sure that we're a match for you. And to be honest, we send about half of the people away and we'll give them a different recommendation based on what their individual goals are. And that's okay, because our ultimate goal at the end of the day is just to help you on where you're at in your journey. And if you're in the right place to up-level your business, think bigger, get a real business in place, that's when you want to think about Careers on Vacation. So either way, we can help you through that. It's really a clarity session to help map your goals and understand what the plan is. But Gettie, thank you so much. I'm going to give you some more confetti for sharing your beautiful journey. Congratulations on your shift from old career to now having your very own thing that you can just do. Sky's the limit, and you're not going far. You're going over to grad group. As you mentioned, we have our great community over there, and so we'll be keeping track and watching and cheering for you on the sidelines always. Thank you for trusting us to work with you and help your vision come to life. It's been our honor to help you through this process.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Cyndi.
You are so welcome. We'll see everybody on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.